The FNL Network Talk Show.
Hi guys, and welcome to the FNL Network Talk Show. I'm Cat Jolleys. Now I'm here today with the amazing Jeff, the wonderful newbie Kay, and Odair from the Netherlands. Now guys, I have been stalking you guys on Instagram this week. So I have a couple of things I want to ask. And Odair, I want to ask about that parade you were at. Because it's so unusual to, obviously it was floats actually on a canal. And it was just so different. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Oh, that was last Saturday. Yes, it is the gay pride here in the Netherlands. We have the Canal Pride, and all the companies or gay supportive companies, they rent a big boat to support the gay pride, but also celebrate it. And that's a big thing here in the Netherlands. It's always in August. And last Saturday was the gay pride, and people come over from all over the world to celebrate Pride with us. So that's a big tradition, a big part of the Dutch culture. Yes, and it's in Amsterdam actually.
Pride is a huge thing everywhere, but what I really loved was just the fact it was boats on the water. It was just, I've never seen anything like it, and I know that the Netherlands, it's obviously a very wet country. I've been to Amsterdam, and I know there's a lot of, canals, and water is a good way for transport. And I just thought it was so unusual. It was amazing, and it was so vibrant and colourful. It was really wonderful to see your pictures of it. So
yes, and actually this year it was a very special edition because after Corona we haven't celebrated it for 2 years, so it was a big thing. And and now it's all about. It was more than 70 boats, so it's 70 different concepts, all celebrating Pride. So it was very nice.
It did. It looked amazing. And Kay, I saw that you were interviewing people in costumes. What was that about?
That was Comic-Con. Yeah, I was interviewing cosplayers at Comic-Con about a week ago. It was a lot of fun. There were a lot of really interesting, intricate costumes. I don't know if you guys are familiar. Are you familiar with Comic-Con?
I am. I have
Yes.
never been, but I am familiar with it. It just looked amazing. I saw there was like a little kid dressed up. I mean, I just loved the whole concept of it. But it was brilliant seeing your little clips interviewing people on the streets. I just loved it. I really, really loved it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's such a fun atmosphere because people are there. A lot of them come just to take pictures. I mean, like that's their main thing is like they want to meet up with other cosplayers and they take pictures with just anybody in the public. And it's such a cool feeling. Everybody's super accepting. Everybody's really excited. And so it was really easy to talk to people. I was just asking people questions about science because I have a YouTube that explores science for kids. And so I was asking people science-based questions, and it was just a lot of fun.
It looked really great. It really did. So thank you for sharing that on Instagram. It's lovely. I like stalking people. I'm sorry, I love stalking people. So it keeps me very entertained. And with that in mind, I have one question for you guys today. And the question is, if you could ask everybody on this panel one question, what would it be and why? And I'm going to get the ball rolling. So for me, as we all know, I love celebrity. I like, Kim Kardashian. I like all the stories. I like fame. Who doesn't like fame? I like the modeling industry. So I want to ask, if you could be a person of influence, whether it's a political world leader, a religious person, a fashion designer, a celebrity, a musician, a model, who would it be and why? So I'm going to get started with Jeff.
Tom Ford. I just love the way, oh my God. He's just so classy. He always has, even when he designed, his looks are amazing, first of all. And I think he's just a down-to-earth person, and he really stays true to himself. And I love that about him. I kind of piggyback off of that even as a designer. I think he just, who he is, he lets everybody know. And he's just, to me, a very loving, compassionate person. And he portrays that even when he's in the people's eyes on camera. And yeah, Tom Ford, I love his looks. Those are amazing. His design. So, for him to be the architect, you know, he went to school to be, I think, an architect or something. And for him to transition from that to design and incorporate that in the actual pieces, you see it, like it shows with his designs, the asymmetricals, all the different looks. And I think that's a gift. And I love him for that. Yeah, I truly love him for that.
Okay, Odair, who would you be?
Well, this question for me is so difficult. I actually don't know. I think my answer would be that I would like to be, um, because you said dead or alive, I would like to live in Prince, his shoes for one day.
That would be
Yes,
amazing.
because
Oh my God, yes, Prince. Be Prince.
Prince,
That's,
Prince, because
yes.
he was, in my opinion, so talented and but lived in his truth and also a little bit of badass doing what he wants to do whenever he wants to do it. And I like that. But so that's the one I think I would choose. But I am someone, I'm very happy with who I am. So I don't often see myself like I would like to be that person or that person. So for me, it was a very difficult question. And maybe I would answer that I would like to be myself, but with Prince talents, and to see how I would manage that with my personality, and see would I manage it? Would I have the same outcome as he had? So for me, that's more interesting to see if that would be the same thing, or would it be totally different because we are totally different people. So yeah,
I
but
love
I
the
think
fact that you're so happy being you. I mean, I think that's a really wonderful trait to have. But yeah, I can just see it, a
thank
hybrid
you.
of Adair crossed with Prince. It'll be magical. Magical.
It would
Hey,
be magical, yes.
who would you
I
like
know
to be?
their feels. This is a difficult question, but for me, I thought about impact because I'm pretty happy with my life. But I thought, how can I have the biggest impact? And who do I think is not doing enough? And I love Oprah, but I think Oprah's doing enough. So I thought Jeff Bezos, absolutely. Because if I was him for a day, I would give away as much of that fortune as I could. I would donate to all of the causes that I am really passionate about and really love. I mean, there's so many great causes, from like building water wells and making water, you know what I mean? Water to people all over the world. And then just like other more domestic issues like domestic violence, and building shelters and giving money and resources to those organizations. I mean, like children in foster care, just like there's so many different good, worthy, like philanthropic efforts. I would just give all of his money away if I could. And I believe I could do it in a day. I would start at like 12:01 when I inhabit his body for the 24 hours and just go. And I would make everything irreversible. So when he comes back into his body, he got $5.99. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, that's brilliant.
you know, he got some assets, but everything else, I'm trying to give it away. Yeah.
Oh my God.
He's on track to be the first trillionaire. Like, he don't need all that. Like, there's no way.
I can just see you just
my
like
God.
throwing money out. It'll be like going to the casino, but better, because you're actually helping people. That would be absolutely amazing to be like, have $100, go and take a homeless person off the street and put them in a nice hotel. I think that's a really beautiful idea. And yeah, I love it. I really, really love that. So yeah, it's like Robin Hood, steal from the rich and give to the poor.
Yeah, watch out, Bezos. All of it. I'm taking it all.
Okay, so for me, I'm indecisive. I love a lot of people. I wanted to be, well, there's actually 4 people I want to be. One, Kim Kardashian. Beautiful lady, lots of money, has, you know, she does all the health treatments. I'll take her private jets and also borrow Kylie's. I would just like to live as one of the most famous women in the world. I want to know what it would be like just to be in her shoes for one day. So she was my first. The second one is David Bowie. Who doesn't want to be an icon like that? I mean, I'm going to say I have met him. I did work with him. And he's the nicest guy ever. And I just have this one memory. And we've been on set for about 18 hours. And there's me, Gary Oldman, and David Bowie. And we are just singing Monty Python, Always Look on the Bright Side of Life. And there was just like 3 English people together. It was absolutely amazing. And I would just like to be Bowie through the different eras, you know, the Stardust days, Bowie at the end. He kept changing. He was always, you know, becoming someone else, reinventing himself. Just the most amazing, talented, intelligent guy. So I'd love to be Bowie. Modern day Bowie, I think, is Harry Styles. So I don't mind walking in his shoes for one day. Good looking, talented, gets to perform in front of people, you know, be a bit of a show off. That is for me, people. That is for me. And my last one is a host, and it is Ryan Seacrest, because we all know that I wanted to be, if I could be someone for, you know, a day, I like Ryan Seacrest. I just think he's so talented. He does radio, he does TV. He is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And with me trying to push the hosting career, why not walk in his shoes? Why not learn from the best of the best by actually being him for a day? So mine are a little bit different. But yeah, I would be any of these people, and I would love to be any of these people. So yeah, bring it on, bring it on. Change me into someone else's body for a day, you know what I mean? So
Nice. 4 people. Nice.
yeah, I am indecisive, so I couldn't narrow it down to one. I had to have 4.
I love your David Bowie story, though. That's so cool.
It still is one of the best days of my life. It's definitely one of my best work days. I mean, to work with an Oscar winner, I think Gary Oldman's an Oscar winner, and to work with an iconic music legend like that, pinch me, people, pinch me. It was amazing. So yeah, that's who I would be for a day. And moving on, I'm going to ask each of you in turn your question. So if you could ask the panel any one thing, what would it be and why? So we're going to go with you to start off with, Kay.
So I thought, because the way that I get to know people most is to find out their entertainment preferences. So I want to know, what is your movie of the year? What has been your favorite movie thus far, and why?
And okay, who do you want that to go out to?
I'll ask you first, Kat.
Okay. Okay, I'll get the ball rolling. I haven't been to see a movie at the cinema since Up. And I'm talking, that must be 10 years ago that Up was there. So I haven't been. I'm single. It's like I need a guy to take me, people. I need a guy to take me. So I have one movie that I really want to see this year, and that's Top Gun Maverick. Obvious reasons. Tom Cruise, everyone's raving about it. I love the first Top Gun, so I want to see that. And then I do want to see Olivia Wilde's Don't Worry, Darling. And I want to see that because I worked a little bit on that, and I worked in a scene with Dieter Von Tess. And it was amazing. It was amazing to be there and see her burlesque dance. And I just want to see that because I did work on it. There's not really any other reason. But I need to get out more. I need to go to the cinema. I need a guy to sweep me off my feet and take me. Because yeah, I'm getting a bit boring.
No, you don't need the guy. You can do it. Come on.
That's right.
Well, I could take myself on a date with Cat and, well, me, basically. A bit of self-love, you know, go to the cinema, you know. So that's what I want to see this year.
That's cool. Well, I'm controversial because I'm the only person that exists that probably didn't like Top Gun Maverick. I went and saw it. I'm gonna tell you, Cat, don't waste your money, girl. Do not spend you haven't been in the theater in 10 years. Don't do it, girl. See yourself first. Don't see him.
Okay, I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna go and wait for it to come onto the streaming, like when Netflix buys it or something like that.
I haven't been in a movie in so long, y'all. I am like, honestly, I'm like, you
date, my friend.
I don't, because I'm so busy. Like, it's crazy. Like, I run a shop, I'm designing. When I get off, I just want to lay my head down. Like, I don't even go out that much. Like, it's just crazy because I'm just so focused on the purpose and getting to where I need to be. I don't know when the last time I saw a movie. I'm being honest with y'all. I just haven't been. I just don't. I'm not dating.
Not even Netflix. What about like a Netflix or
I don't even really watch a lot of TV like that. I just don't, because I'm just really trying to stay focused. Like my art and me running the shop and barbering and styling, all that takes up so much of my time. I just don't. And I do ministry, so my life is like, everybody's like, why don't you go out? Now, when I was in the world, I did everything. I would party, but I just don't do those things. I'll be turned up. I just don't do those things anymore. My life has changed so dramatically that the shift have allowed me to enjoy creating. I love designing. I love the arts. I love, the communicating with my clients. We in the shop, we laugh and we'll meet here. But going to the movies, I don't know when the last time I've really been to a movie and sat in the theater and just had popcorn and just relaxing and laugh. It's been a minute. So I'm just being upfront and honest.
So how do you de-stress and relax and take time for yourself?
So the things that I do, like when I get up in the morning, I run, I work out, I read my word. That's de-stressing for me before my day. And then when I get off, and relaxation to me is designing. Like my passion in designing garments and just the creative part is so inspiring to me. I'm in my creative space. Nobody's in here in the shop worrying me. I've shut it down, and it's just me creating. It's just me going for broke and just creating these garments, these collections. And when I finish, I'm like the people when they go down the runway, I'm like, oh my God, that is really nice. Like I really did that, So that to me is my joy until my wife comes, but other than that, that's where I'm at, honestly.
I love that about you though. I love the fact, when you talk about designing and creating, you glow. You really, really do glow. You see the love you have. And I think that's wonderful. I think, if you're passionate about what you do, then you don't work. It's like a vacation, you know what I mean? So I just love seeing you radiate this glow when you talk about it. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
It's so funny, Kat. It's just all art to me. Even when I'm, open my shop and I'm doing the women's hair or the men's hair, they're like my canvas. Like people just, they look at art as, you have a canvas or you have a drawing board. But when that person's sitting in your chair and they're telling you to be creative and do designs and stuff or the colors, that time is for you to be as creative as they allow you in, a neutral stance, whatever type of client you're dealing with. And when they get up and you hand them the mirror and you see their face and like, oh my God, like I did this new client yesterday, it was crazy. She went somewhere and they messed her hair up and she told me to cut it really short. And she was like, should I get color? And so she was like really weighing. And I was like, yeah, do the color. I was like, go ahead. It's summertime. Be vibrant. Do something great. Feel good about yourself. And she was hesitant at first, but then she let me do it. And then she was like, well, if it doesn't work, what can I said, we can put it back black. We can put deposit a color back in there. But when I handed her that mirror, she was like, oh my God, I feel so good. I look good. Her husband called and he was like, you want to go? Oh my God. She said, yes, I can't wait till you see my hair. So those are my moments of movies to be like that. Just makes me feel good. My day is just so lit after that. I was like, hey, I made that lady day. She came in my shop. She's never been here. She was iffy about everything and she felt confident. So to me, it's all art. Like everything I do is part of who I am. But yeah, I haven't been to the movies, y'all.
I love that. I
What
love the fact
relaxation
that,
is.
you know, you change people's lives. I'm going to say, when you go to the hairdresser, and we all know that I've had alopecia. So 3 years ago, I didn't have any hair on my head. And I was very lucky. My hair grew back. But, you know, a lot of people aren't that lucky. And what I can say is when you get your hair done, it's part of who you are. It's like a wardrobe that you wear every day. And having a great hairdresser who makes you smile, who makes you feel super confident and be like, you know, the L'Oreal girl, sort of,
Yeah.
I'm worth it.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And it's such a beautiful craft to be able to do and be able to do it well. I mean, I wish I could chop hair a little bit better. I'm going to say, I did shave my dog recently and I was quite proud of my efforts, but yeah, I would never have the confidence to do someone's hair, never. I think it's brilliant. I think you're so creative, so talented, and I love it. Really just love that about you, Jeff.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I try to
I need
just
to know where you are because the way you talking, you need to get a hold of this.
your hair is beautiful.
You need to work your magic, honey. Yes.
I am in Virginia Beach, but I saw your hair. I was like, your hair is amazing. You have beautiful hair.
Thank you.
It is.
From a
Beautiful.
professional.
It's
And
very
it complements your face well. Yeah.
Is it natural? Do you have any extensions or anything in it, or weave it?
No, this is the
Oh, you can
the
tell it's
color.
natural.
This isn't my color, but this is my hair. Like I colored it, but
Oh my God, I am so jealous. I mean, in my hair, I'm very lucky to have hair, so I'm not going to complain, but I would love it to get thicker, a bit
because what
longer.
happened? I mean, I haven't heard your whole alopecia story, but I've never heard of someone being able to grow their hair back
Yeah, I
from
must study on
alopecia.
that.
Well, it was because mine was stress related. So I've been feeling a low level kind of illness, just not vibrant, not energized for about 3/4 of a year or so. And I thought actually it was my boob implants. I decided that they probably were a bit old, might be leaking, and I would take them out and go from there. And anyway, I kind of wanted just to downsize the implant, but the guy said take them totally out, let the capsule kind of heal, and then put some other ones in at a later date. Anyway, because my body was so stressed, when I went under the anesthesia, my body just shut down and my hair stopped growing. And I think I'm right, Jeff, you would know that if your hair stops growing, even for the shortest period of time, the follicles are going to fall out.
Yeah.
So what happened to me is 2 weeks after my boobie removal, my hair just came out in 2 days. And it's because my body was stressed and the GA sent me, you know, over the top, and my hair just for a small amount of time stopped growing. And so I saw a dermatologist, and he can actually look into the follicles. They kind of magnify things to such a level. And he said, I can see this hair in the follicles, but it's dormant and you have to stimulate it to grow. So I had to look at my lifestyle. I had to change the ways that I deal with stress. I kind of had to look at my nutrition because I am vegan. And so I had to make sure I was getting all the vitamins, everything my body needed and more, basically to recover. And I was a total skinhead for 6 months. And then a bit of chicken fluff grew through. And thank God for the pandemic. I'm the only person who's going to say thank God for the pandemic, because I got to hide under hats, because growing out a skinhead, you look awful. You look absolutely awful. You go through the fluffy chicken phase. It all sticks out at angles. Yeah. You have to basically get length on your hair. So you just kind of hide it away until it's long enough that a hairdresser can do something with it. So it was, I'm going to say it was really traumatic, and I can smile about it now, but at the time it destroyed my confidence. I took down my Instagram and everything like that, because I didn't want to even look at myself. I couldn't go on Instagram for about 6 months because I was just seeing everybody out there having fun, you know, living a life that I felt I couldn't live at the time. And I was really introverted, and But yeah, I'm better than ever now. It's like if you break a pot and you're in Japan, they mend it with gold and it becomes more beautiful, stronger. And I feel that this was actually a great journey for me to go through. It was horrific, but my God, did it teach me a lot. So it was.
Wow, that's amazing. You're a fighter. That's no joke. And especially for someone as a model, like
that was really tough.
You should get some.
I mean, I'm going to say, you know, I was meant to move back to LA and I just got my visa to come back to the States. And my agency put me in New York. And so it was a life that I wasn't expecting. And then when I get to New York, they decide that, oh, maybe I'm not so well because I had no hair on my head and I got sidelined. So it was brutal because basically there's nothing worse than being in a city that you don't know anyone, because I knew LA, I've got friends in LA, and sorry, love, you know, I just was made to sit on the shelf. So that was tough.
Because of your hair?
I think the agency decided that I needed to focus on my health. And so the modeling world is cutthroat, it's very cutthroat. And once you're pushed to the side, you're going to stay at the side, you know what I mean? Mm. So it was tough. And then after 5 months of being in New York, I was like, you know what, I'm going back to LA, I've got friends in LA, I'm going to rebuild myself. And so I moved back here. But it was hard. It was a tough thing to go through, but I'm happy I went through it.
Yeah, I'm an advocate for y'all. It's just crazy as a designer. When I go into those settings and I see y'all all in one group in this place, I just don't see the love. And I don't like it. It just does something. So I always try to encourage the models that were my brand. And I try to build them up, because my thing is my clothes could be on that rack and just be on that rack. But when you put it on, you bring my stuff to life. Y'all the ones that make it what it is, how you feel about it, how you walk down the runway. So I just feel like the appreciation for who y'all aren't really given back to y'all in the levels that it should be. So my thing is always encouraging, make sure that the models are being taken care of, make sure that people aren't talking to them crazy. I just don't like it. I'm just like, you can't talk to them. Why would you want to talk to them? They're the ones that's making your brand or making your clothes look good. You know, the clothes can't walk down the runway by themselves. So y'all are a need. And my heart just go out to that. I'm sorry. And I'm new in the industry and I just see stuff and I'm just like, I can't. And they just sit back because they just want to, you know, they want to be great. You know, they want people to see them as, I'm beautiful, I'm doing this great thing, I'm wearing these clothes, and I don't think they are represented well sometimes in that industry.
I think that's lovely that you want to make models feel confident and stuff like that. And one thing that's happened recently, there is a Pride Disability Month. And my friend's got an agency in New York, which she actually started herself because she didn't like some of the stuff that was going on in the modeling industry and how she was treated. And so she started a New York-based agency called We Speak. And We Speak is about diversity in fashion. And they've got amputees, they've got people with Down syndrome, they've people that have had breast cancer and had their breasts removed. And it's about celebrating beauty, whatever that beauty is. And I love the fact that for Pride Disability Week, Maybelline New York partnered up with We Speak, and just to celebrate Pride, celebrate these models. And I think we need to see more models with disabilities, more diverse models, you know, whether it's plus size, and we do have plus size models now. And I just think, you know, celebrate people as people, because there's room for it in the modeling industry. And I really think that if we get there, that would be amazing.
Yeah. I believe that. Yeah, most definitely. Because we all are different. It's just crazy that you can't you can't really be yourself. You always feel like you have to be a certain person. And I'm learning because I'm really quiet, reserved. I'm learning to be me. And the more I learn to be me, I'm happy and I'm good, you know. And I think that that is a beautiful thing that she's doing that, because I am experiencing that and seeing that. And just like, you know, as a man of God, I think of those things. I'm like, okay, Lord, what is my purpose in me being in this industry and have to be a mouthpiece for them when they can't speak because they don't know if they're going to get X'd out if they speak up and say, well, why did you talk to me like that? Well, we're not going to put you in this show, so I'm going to replace you. I've seen it, and I'm just like, why would you do that to them? Like, you know, and I just did a show and not here to speak because they wanted to X the model out just to wear my brand. And I'm like, why would you take away their experience? Their experience is that you already told them that they're going to be in each and every one of these designers' garments. And now you want to smite them because you didn't do your part. And I don't think that's right to them. I said, so they don't have to wear my stuff. If they want to wear that other brand, let them go ahead. Don't make them take the clothes off and then come over to me and put on my stuff. That's unfair to them. I had to stand up and speak on that for them on their behalf. And I don't know, just my heart just goes out to that, to models. I just see
it is a tough industry, and I'm 5'8", so I'm 173. So it's quite short, especially if you're working in London or somewhere like that. And I remember when I was first getting started and going to castings, and people are like, how tall are you? And I'm like, I'm 5'8", and they're 5'7" at best. And it was just, everything was, you know, a swipe, put you down, wrong hair color, wrong eye color. And don't get me wrong, I love the industry because I wouldn't have stayed working in it if I didn't. But you do have to develop a backbone. I'm going to say that. You have to be confident in who you are. And it's an amazing industry to work in. It really is. Yeah. But you have to be self-assured. You have to be confident because people are going to knock you down. And it's just the way it is. We're human beings. People say stuff. So on that note, I want to know, who's excited for Fashion Weeks?
I love Fashion Week.
I know that I
am excited.
So I love seeing it all. I love seeing the clothes on the runway. It's like theatre. It's like when fashions come alive. And for me, I know a lot of people aren't interested in Fashion Weeks anymore. And it's kind of, if you're interested in fashion, then yes, you'll watch the runway shows. But I think a lot of people now, and I don't know what your opinion is, but a lot of people are more influenced by celebrity and more influenced by what an influencer's wearing than actually what is happening at Fashion Week. And, you know, I do think that celebrity is more influential to, you know, me going down the street and buying something than seeing it on the runway. I just think, you know, the world's changed a little bit, and I love the shows. I do love it. It's like theatre.
Yeah.
But I don't know what your opinion is. I feel
like I get so much energy and inspiration from seeing the coverage of Fashion Week. So I love to see street style from Fashion Week because I feel like those are really fashionable, everyday people. You have some celebrities thrown in streetwear, but most of the time it's regular people. It's, you know, maybe an editor or a executive assistant or whatever that works at a major magazine, or just someone that keeps their hand on the pulse of fashion. So I love Fashion Week for the on the street stuff we get to see. And like you were saying, Kat, I do feel like it's theater because none of that stuff is ready to wear, right? Except like if you're watching maybe a Ralph Lauren show. But most of the stuff, if I'm watching, you know, Bottega Veneta, that's not something I'm going to go to Macy's and be able to buy. But it is cool to see because we know that high fashion, especially luxury fashion, will influence street fashion. I always think about Miranda Priestley from The Devil Wears Prada, one of my favorite movies, and how she kind of informs Andy's character. You know, you don't think that you like fashion, you don't think fashion is important. Why do you think you have the cerulean blue sweater? Do you guys know that whole speech where she goes off about the sweater, you know, and about how it was in because it was on runway, you know, like 6 years ago, and then you found it in a bargain basement last summer, and this is how fashion like affects the whole cycle. So I know that it's important, but for me, I don't have access to runway fashion, you know, not immediately anyway. I have to wait some years until it trickles down, you know, to the masses. But it is definitely always fun to watch. It's like you said, Kat, it's like a show for me.
Yeah, it's wonderful to watch. I just find the whole thing about being at Fashion Week, I find it magical. You know, you're waiting to see these designs for the first time, and then the models come out and they're strutting their stuff, and it's brilliant, it's amazing, and it's so wonderful to see these creations, I'm going to say, come to life, because they really do come to life. So I love that, really love that.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. I know, Jeff, you need to ask your question. So if you could ask the panel anything, what would it be and why?
Say it again.
If you could ask the panel anything, what would it be and why?
Okay, so I have my question because I really wanted to know. So my question is, why is it so different for a man of God or a Christian person in a room setting for people to talk openly or for them to be themselves? It's weird because sometimes when you walk in a room and they know that you are a preacher or a person that loves the Lord, their whole demeanor changes, like the conversation and everything changes. It's weird. And you can feel like this uneasy feeling in the room. And my thing is, I always tell people, like, just be yourself, because I'd rather for you to be yourself than it feel very awkward. The transition of walking in that as a leader, a preacher, or someone that's Christian, it's already different than the norm, but it feels really, really awkward. You can always tell, you just like, even me being a designer and me being, you know, a man of God, because I'm a preacher, it is different. Like, you know, the conversations change. Like if they're drinking, there's like, okay, the preacher's coming. Yo, put that liquor down. Or don't cuss. The minister's coming. I'm like, why y'all acting all weird? Like, I'm a real person. It's just weird. It's weird because I'm not a judgmental person. I want people to be themselves because that's what it's about. I'm just a mouthpiece. If I want, you know, encourage you, I just want to encourage you. I don't want to be tearing you down. That brimstone stuff, that's back in the days. That's not now, you know? So I just, you know, that's my question. What is that? Why do, you know, people feel like when a leader comes in a room, they can't be themselves? Why do they have to change?
I do understand that, because religion's a very delicate matter. I'm going to say that. I mean, for me, I don't believe. I respect your beliefs. I respect that, you know, Hinduism, I respect Muslim. I have friends of all faiths. But for me, I don't actually believe myself. And I'm not going to say I'm an atheist, because I'm not. I'm agnostic, because I respect and appreciate everybody's beliefs. But I think it's a really difficult subject to ever talk about. I mean, I try not to tell people my belief, because someone's going to get upset, you know what I mean? And I think it's very difficult. And like you said, when it comes down to it, we're all people. We all have a heart. You know, I do curse. I cuss, I'm going to say I cuss like a but, you know, it doesn't bother me that, for example, you're a man of God. I'm not going to change who I am, because I respect you as a person. And for me to change, that's showing you a lack of respect, I think. So
that's what I'm talking about. That's all I'm saying. Like, I have people around me, they know that I've changed and my life is different. But just because you're not doing what I'm doing, that don't make you not be my friend. Like, if you cuss and drink, okay, that's what you do. Like, I still love you. You can still be a person that have a wonderful heart. I met, not trying to be funny, I met people that are Christians, preachers, and they like a whipping chain and mean. And I'm like, I don't want to be around you because I'm not a mean person. You said you're supposed to be Christ-like, but you're not really being nice. Like, I'm just being real. Like, I just want people to be themselves because we're just regular people. We just want to, impact people. Me personally, I just want to impact people's lives. I just, if they're going through, I want to be the person that encourage them and help them if they don't see it and he reveals it to me into their purpose and destiny. Like, okay, I see you have this gift and such. Let me come along and mentor and help you get to that place. But I just feel like sometimes when they see it, they think that, how do I say it? They think that we don't do any wrong. We're like perfect people. We're not perfect people. We have issues. I got issues. I have struggles and everything, just like everybody else. I'm just trying to do right on this earth. But they just see it's like, oh no, it's just, don't drink, don't do this. He a leader, he a preacher, and I'm just like, it's weird in here. Y'all making it weird. I'm a fun person. I was fun when I was in the world. I'm a fun preacher. This is still Jeff. It's just, so yeah, that was my question.
I mean, I really don't understand. Oh, sorry, Kay, I'll let you go. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say I feel your experience because I'm a religious person too. And I feel like the number one thing is that people think that you're judging them and they don't want to be judged.
It's not.
And I think that's a valid issue because like you said, you're like, I know some preachers who are mean, but because some religious people are very judgmental. And so if they encounter a religious person, they're like, oh, this person it feels a type of way about me or is going to say something to me about this thing that I'm doing. And so I think you're doing the right thing by just being like, hey, like, I'm cool. I'm not judging you. There's somebody that's judging us all and their opinion is what matters. Nobody else's opinion matters, right? So, but I think because they've had that experience, because I know you as a religious person, me as a religious person, I do know judgmental people. Like, I know it.
Yeah.
So I know some people that will come out and say something crazy. So I'm like, okay, I know why you were hesitant, but I'm here to do a little PR for Christians everywhere. Like, do you? There's somebody that's judging everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's that judgment piece.
I think that religion's very beautiful, and just because I don't believe it doesn't mean that it's not amazing, because I think it adds so much to people's lives. Like, obviously it adds a great deal to your life, Kay, and to your life, Jeff. And I just think, a person's a person, let them be happy. Doesn't matter if they believe, that's amazing for them. And I respect that. And I love the fact that it kind of makes you glow. And sometimes I wish I did believe, I just don't. And, I think it's okay not to believe too. And I think it's about just being a nice person, because there's some really horrible people, and it doesn't matter if you're religious, not religious, there's horrible people and there's really beautiful people. And I think just being authentic and being like, hi, I'm Jeff, you know what I mean? Because being religious, in my eyes, it doesn't put you in a box, and I don't think it should. And I just think this judging thing, I think it's slightly weird. But I do understand that it does happen. And I guess that's probably why we have like religious wars and stuff like that. And religion's just so sensitive. It really is sensitive. But I appreciate the beauty in it. I really do. Yeah. And, that's one thing, my friends that I've got Muslim friends, I've got Hindu friends, and it definitely adds something to their life. And I really like that for them. I think it's amazing.
Yeah, I like that, Kat. I feel like you did it. You know what I mean? Like, to say it adds something to your life. I feel like you understand. You know what I mean? Because that's what it does for me as a religious person. Like, my faith helps me get through this life. The things I believe, I think, don't make me a better person than anybody else. They personally help me to be a better person in the world, and that helps me to serve people no matter what religion they are. You know what I mean? Like. So you saying like it adds something to your life, it adds a dimension to your life. I think it's a perfect description of it. I think you have a very good grip on,
I really do think it's wonderful. I really do. And I have a block up, and I just can't bring myself to believe. I think it would be a wonderful thing to have in my life, because I just see how much it it embellishes other people's lives. I'm not there. Whether or not, you know, but I would be open to being there. I just am not there. So.
Yeah, I totally agree with what Kay said. It's just like with me, it's the faith of hoping for the manifestation of those things and then they happen. It builds me up. It adds so much in my life. You have no idea. Half of the stuff that I'm doing now, I probably would not have been doing if I didn't have the faith and the believing in God that helped me, because the shy person don't know how to get on that platform, or the shy person don't know how to be a host on this show, FNL. Like, help me to overcome that obstacles so that I can see what is behind that wall, besides me having that wall up and not, you know, experiencing that. So it has helped me so much. Me, you know, checking me as a person, I always analyze me and like, how can I make Jeff a better person? What am I doing that could impact somebody's life in the negative? How can I change that? So yeah, it's just, you know, my thing is I love people, you know, and I've learned to. And even when in my shop, I had a young man, he was Muslim, and he knew that I was a preacher, and I learned what I kept hearing was just love. Like, and I was like, okay. I say, love him like he is your brother or sister. And it works. Like, I think that, you know, the separation is a little much. We're all here just to love each other and build wonderful relationships with people. It's part of your journey. We're all on a journey. And that's what I perceive. Yeah.
I 100% agree with that. And I'm going to say, from the few times that we've met each other on here, you can just see how giving you are, how much you do radiate love, how much you appreciate people. And I remember a comment that you said about Eugenia being your idol because of the amount of love and the amount of giving she does for, you know, other people. And you can just tell you have a big heart, a really, really big heart, and it's so special. So I love that about you, Jeff.
You too. I love you too. Yeah, I love your personality, your spirit. I just love it. It's just, it radiates. When you come up here, I just love the way you just present yourself on the FNL and how you engage and get everybody engaged and get us talking. Because I struggle with that sometimes hosting, but you're really good at that. And you're just a good person, and you're very genuine. You openly tell your story, and I like that about you. And that draws me to people like you, that I want to get to know them personally, because I get it, you know? And I think if the world was a little bit more like that, it would be a better place. But people just, you know, people are going to be people. But then there's people that, like you said, you have a big heart, and you say I have a big heart, that really try to make a difference. And it creates the balance to me.
Yeah, I think I'm a strong believer in being open and honest. And obviously I have been through some stuff. And I think if I come out here and if I am vulnerable for an hour of my time and one person maybe has helped, then it's worth it. It really is worth it. And I think when you are open about your own life experiences, it can do so much for someone else, someone who perhaps is at the start of their journey and is still really struggling, and to see someone who's been through some stuff come out, really likes who they are. I think it's just a really great thing. It's a gift that you can give other people. So I love coming on this show, and I love being able to tell my stories and stuff like that, because I really just think if you have a story, tell it.
Tell it. You never know who's listening. Yeah.
So we have one more question, and it was Odair's question. And he was going to ask, if you have two things on your bucket list that you can achieve this year, what would they be? So I'm going to put it out there to you, Jeff.
First, I want to go to LA. I keep saying I want to come. I definitely want to come to LA. And I would want my brand to wind up in stores and me be influential, like really be influential and make a difference in people. Like, I think that is my main thing that I want to do before this year's out. I want to really make a difference. I don't want my brand just to be out there just to make money. I want it to be a brand that really speaks and change the dynamics of the world through my, like you said, my experience, because it's people that are out there like me that are, shy, don't want to come forth and miss it. And I had to overcome that shyness in order for me to be in the place that I am now with the fashion. And it feels good. I broke that barrier and I'm continue pushing and breaking barriers to see what's behind that wall. And it's very rewarding. And I think that's the true Jeff coming forth. So all the happy, every time I'm up here on FNL, it's like a friend. It's like the fear factor is no longer there. It's not as strong. And I love it. I'm meeting great people. I meet people like you. I meet people like Odair that's not even from here, from the Zooms. And it's just amazing just to meet wonderful, wonderful people outside of me being in Virginia Beach. So, yeah, that's.
I mean, I definitely agree with you. I love this show for that reason too. I love it because of all the people that we get to connect with every single week, the conversations we have, the laughs, the giggles, and I think it's amazing. And I'm really thankful for being part of the FNL family because I think we have a beautiful family.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, I'm going to answer Odair's question myself. And I want to say 2 things on my bucket list. One, I need a sugar daddy for people. I need a sugar daddy because it doesn't matter how hard I work. I am not going to be able to afford my bucket list of beauty treatments that I would like. Like I said, I need to become Kim Kardashian. So I've got to find a sugar daddy. So that's probably the first thing on the bucket list. Because I want new boobies. I want my lips doing. Just freeze the face so it doesn't move. I want laser facials. You name it. I have a beauty bucket list that I would love to.
You are hilarious.
So yeah, I need a sugar daddy. He's number 1 on my bucket list. And number 2 is I want to host at New York Fashion Week. So Rocco, FNL, hint, hint, massive
Let's
hint.
do it.
I will walk to New York, people. I will walk to New York to host at Fashion Week.
I think you would be a wonderful host. Your personality, I think you will rock. For real.
I agree. It would be so much fun. I 100% agree.
So I think that's amazing. So that's my second thing on the bucket list. Failing New York, I want to host at LA Fashion Week. So again, hint, hint, FNL, hint, hint, big hint here. Make it happen, people.
Yes.
Yeah, that's my 2 things on my bucket list. So one, I need a sugar daddy for, and the other one, I just need a network that is going to allow me to host at Fashion Weeks. So yeah. Kay, what are the 2 things on your bucket list that you hope to achieve this year?
Well, first, this has been on my list since she started kindergarten, was to get my daughter off to a good college, and she's going to do that in a couple of weeks. She's going to Barnard at Columbia University in New York City. So we're very excited.
That's amazing. They're really prestigious.
Yeah, she's a hard worker and a real smart cookie, so we're super excited for her.
Oh, that's a proud mama moment. It really is.
It is.
So
that's been many years in making because she turned 18 this year, and that's been like one of our top goals is to get her into a good school and to have her go to a place that she's excited about. And so I just can't believe that it's happening in a couple of weeks. I mean, we've been working, it's a bucket list we've been working on for 18 years. So it's just insane that it's happening in a couple of weeks. And then my other bucket list, well, I have another daughter, so we have the same thing for her. We want her to go to a good college, but she has a few years to go from that. But my other main bucket list thing, I don't know if it's gonna happen this year, but I would love to host a game show.
Oh,
I think that would be so much fun.
I'll be a contestant. Like, I get very excited about that sort of thing. Don't play a board game with me, people. Don't play a board game with me. I cheat. I do cheat. But I can do that, and I can hit the buzzer. I can definitely do that. So, Kay, you host. I'll be a contestant. I'm sure Jeff will join me and be a contestant.
Yeah, perfect.
Like, we can even do it on this show, like another week. We can have.
Don't play that. That would be so much fun. I love that.
Yeah.
We can have the quiz master, and the rest of us can be like, beep,
Look, not if it's about movies. I'll make sure not to put any movies on it. Because you and Jeff, I know y'all don't do movies. So I know now.
Jeff and I would be there like,
You know we're struggling over here with the movie.
just keep beeping my buzzer so no one else could get a word in edgeway. But I love that. And I really love that for you. I think you'll be amazing at it.
You.
So on that note, because I know everyone's got things to do today, I'm going to thank you guys for being here. I'm going to thank the audience for watching us. This has been the FNL Network Talk Show, and we'll see you next time.